Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Join us as we dive into the world of Disastrous Necromancer, where we'll unravel the mysteries of Lin Moyu's quest to become the strongest. From hidden secrets to epic battles, we're here to give you an exclusive look at the story before anyone else. If you're a fan of fantasy, necromancers, or just love a good adventure, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to support the channel, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a chapter. Let's start the journey.
In the Divine City, in front of the Symbol Master's tower, a group of high-level Symbol Masters gathered. They sat cross-legged, their gazes devout. In front of them were clusters of continuously burning soul flames. These were the soul flames left behind by Lin Moyu after his lecture, preserved through special means to ensure they would not extinguish for 1,000 years. 100 clusters of soul flames looked identical, almost indistinguishable. But all the high-level Symbol Masters present knew that the interiors of these soul flames were different. Each soul flame had subtle differences, and they continuously sensed these differences to hone their souls and enhance their soul sensitivity. This was also a method left behind by Lin Moyu. Many high-level Symbol Masters, after long periods of training, had somewhat improved their soul sensitivity. They had made significant progress in integrating runes. The Symbol Masters also realized how important soul sensitivity was to a 657 Symbol Master. Now, soul sensitivity had become a standard for measuring a Symbol Master. Not only were high-level Symbol Masters training themselves here, but even the Symbol Saint also came here to train himself. His talent was considered outstanding among all Symbol Masters, but compared to Lin Moyu, it was still far inferior. The Symbol Saint sat in the Symbol Master's tower, his tightly closed eyes slowly opening, his consciousness returning. He received a message from Lin Moyu and muttered to himself, "It seems Lin Xiaoyu has something to discuss." He told Lin Moyu his location, then got up and flew out of the tower, standing in mid-air. Moments later, a person came from afar. 1 second he was in the distance, the next he was in front of him, as if teleporting. The Symbol Saint smiled and said, "Congratulations, Lin Xiaoyu." He could naturally see that Lin Moyu had made further progress in mastering the laws of space. Just now, Lin Moyu had taken a step and crossed a long distance, the whole process looking very natural, without any strain. Lin Moyu smiled, "I should congratulate you too, Symbol Saint." The Symbol Saint felt a bit strange, wondering what there was to congratulate him for. At this moment, the many Symbol Masters in the square saw Lin Moyu and all cupped their fists and called out, "Master Lin." For a moment, the voices calling, "Master Lin," were endless. These high-level Symbol Masters spoke with respect in their voices. They had all listened to Lin Moyu's lectures and benefited greatly. According to the rules, they should call Lin Moyu, Master Lin. Lin Moyu smiled and nodded to everyone, then said to the Symbol Saint, "Saint, please arrange a quiet room." The Symbol Saint nodded, "Follow me." He led Lin Moyu into the Symbol Master's tower and went to the 10th floor. Only he and 2 elders could enter the 10th floor, making it very quiet. At this moment, the 2 elders were not present, so only the Symbol Saint and Lin Moyu were there. The Symbol Saint said, "Lin Xiaoyu, if you have any instructions, just say so." Lin Moyu said, "I have no instructions, but I have some rune materials for you to review." A jade token flew to the Symbol Saint, who took it with some confusion and began to examine it. Soon, his pupils began to dilate, and his eyebrows stood up. His eyes showed not only shock but also greed. It was a greed for runes. After reading it once, he put down the jade token and asked excitedly, "Where did this come from?" Lin Moyu smiled, "Let me keep it a secret for now. I want to ask if you have any higher grade jade tokens, the higher the better." Without thinking, the Symbol Saint immediately took out a purple jade token. The purple jade token emitted an aura of the other shore realm, and it looked very exquisite, having been carved and polished. Lin Moyu took it and, without saying anything, began to copy the inheritance of the Saint Symbol Heavenly Sovereign. He copied carefully, starting with the ancient rune materials of the 1st to 3rd levels. The purple jade token had no problems. He then tried to copy the materials of the 4th level, but as soon as he started, the purple jade token cracked and shattered on the spot. The purple jade token of the other shore realm could not withstand the materials of the 4th level. When the purple jade token shattered, the Symbol Saint's eyes narrowed sharply, and he immediately took out a new purple jade token. He knew that what Lin Moyu was recording inside must be extraordinary. The purple jade token was precious, and the Symbol Saint felt a bit of pain taking it out, but this pain was nothing compared to Lin Moyu's materials. This time, Lin Moyu only recorded the ancient rune materials of the 1st to 3rd levels and then tried to copy the insights of the Saint Symbol Heavenly Sovereign. Crack. The purple jade token shattered again, even more thoroughly than before. Without a word, the symbol saint took out another purple jade token and handed it to Lin Moyu. This time, Lin Moyu knew the limits and only copied the ancient rune materials of the 1st to 3rd levels, not touching anything else. Materials of the 4th level and above might require materials of the Supreme Realm to withstand. As for the insights of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign, even materials of the Supreme Realm might not be enough. Lin Moyu also realized that the pearl containing the highest inheritance of the Yunwu sect was not an ordinary item. It could bear the inheritance of the Heavenly Sovereign and had both virtual and real attributes, making it a true treasure. After copying the ancient rune materials, Lin Moyu returned the jade token to the symbol saint. The symbol saint eagerly began to read it. His greatest interest in life was runes. His relentless pursuit of runes was the source of his motivation to become a saint. The ancient runes in the jade token greatly attracted the symbol saint. Even though they were only of the 1st to 3rd levels, their profundity was astonishing. In the current world, only the symbol saint could study them. Even the 2 elders were not qualified. The symbol saint struggled to pull his attention away from the jade token and looked at Lin Moyu with amazement. How did you get these materials? Lin Moyu said, by chance, I obtained the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign. The saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign. The symbol saint was shocked, exclaiming despite his usual composure. Lin Moyu asked, do you know the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign? The symbol saint nodded. The book, Symbolic Language, I once showed you was recorded by the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign, but it was from his younger days when he was learning runes. He didn't use it later. I see. Lin Moyu finally understood that he had seen the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign's work early on. Lin Moyu said, the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign is vast, but I cannot copy it all. For now, I can only copy the ancient runes of the 1st to 3rd levels. The symbol saint understood. I see. Having the ancient runes of the 1st to 3rd levels is already very good, enough for me to study for 1,000 years. Lin Moyu continued, although I cannot copy it, I can orally describe some things to you, which might be helpful. The jade token couldn't bear it, but oral description should be fine. The symbol saint immediately sat upright, bowing to Lin Moyu with a devout posture. Please, Master Lin, lecture. His love and devotion to runes were unmatched. Lin Moyu knew this well, so he accepted the gesture and began to explain the rune path of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign. A warship was speeding through deep space, heading towards the divine city. Inside the warship, Hao Saint's expression was strange. Xiao Wu was beside him, lying on a treasure like a white cloud, sound asleep. Lin Moyu's lecture was about the path of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign, not his own path. Lin Moyu indeed had an extremely strong talent in the way of runes, far surpassing everyone in the current era. However, talent was one thing, and realm was another. In terms of realm, he was still far from the symbol saint. Being able to articulate the path of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign was already extremely difficult. During the lecture, the symbol saint gained a lot, and Lin Moyu himself also benefited greatly. His understanding of runes deepened significantly, and he gained a lot from it. The way of runes was vast and profound, and there were many aspects that Lin Moyu knew but did not fully understand. Unfortunately, his realm was not high enough, which was unavoidable. The private lecture lasted for 10 days and finally ended. The symbol saint respectfully bowed to Lin Moyu. Thank you, Master Lin, for your lecture. Lin Moyu immediately shook his head and said, this is the path of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign, I am just a substitute lecturer. The symbol saint shook his head. The saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign has long passed away. Master Lin's willingness to share his path is a great favor to all symbol masters of the current era. When I fully comprehend this path, I will make it public so that all symbol masters can listen to the ancient sage's teachings. Lin Moyu immediately bowed. Then I will trouble the saint. This was exactly what he wanted. He hoped to use the symbol saint's hand to spread the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign, so that all symbol masters of the current era could know what the complete way of runes was. At this moment, the voice of the Human Emperor Network sounded in their ears. Saint Hao has returned. Please contact him after your cultivation. Lin Moyu asked, when did Saint Hao return? The Human Emperor Network immediately replied that Saint Hao had returned 5 days ago. Lin Moyu found it strange. Saint Hao was out playing with Xiao Wu, so why did he suddenly return? During the lecture, the symbol saint had specifically instructed the Human Emperor Network not to disturb them unless it was urgent. So it was only after the lecture ended that the Human Emperor Network spoke up. The symbol saint smiled and said, Saint Hao might have something to do. You should go first. Leave the matter of the inheritance to me. Lin Moyu bowed to the symbol saint and then left the symbol master's tower. The human emperor network drew a guiding path in the sky. Lin Moyu took a step and disappeared. Saint Hao's warship was quietly floating in the air. Generally, warships were not allowed to navigate in the Divine City, but a few saints had special privileges. The warship's door was open, and a faint scent of tea wafted out. Lin Moyu appeared outside the warship and flew straight in without any hesitation, sitting directly opposite Saint Hao. "Why did you come back?" Lin Moyu said as he naturally picked up a teacup, poured himself some tea, and glanced at Xiao Wu, who was still sleeping beside him. Xiao Wu seemed to be asleep, but Lin Moyu felt that she was not really asleep. Her state seemed a bit peculiar. Lin Moyu looked at her a few more times and found that Xiao Wu was indeed not asleep but had entered a very peculiar state. Xiao Wu's aura seemed to be increasing at a stable rate. When Xiao Wu had just completed her possession and transformed into a human, her aura was unstable. Later, it stabilized, and her realm remained at the 7th level of the true god. These days, she had already reached the 9th level of the true god and seemed to be still improving. Saint Hao said in a low voice, "Guess who we met?" Who did they meet? Lin Moyu thought for a moment and immediately guessed, smiling, the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign. Saint Hao's eyes widened. "How did you know?" Lin Moyu smiled. "I received the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign." Saint Hao spat out a mouthful of tea, which shot out like an arrow. His purple gold body instantly activated, and the tea hit it, making a clinking sound. Lin Moyu smiled wryly. "Are you trying to kill someone?" If it were an ordinary god, Saint Hao's mouthful of tea would be enough to seriously injure them. Saint Hao ignored his own loss of composure and immediately asked, "How did you get the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign?" Lin Moyu leisurely drank his tea. The inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign is in the highest inheritance of the Yunwu sect, and it was just activated. He did not explain the process in detail. After all, he had already obtained the inheritance, and some things did not need to be explained too much. Saint Hao said, "All right, then what is the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign?" "It's all about the way of runes. I've already told the symbol saint everything I can. Some things I can't explain," Lin Moyu said, indicating that it was not that he did not want to explain, but that he really could not. Saint Hao understood. "Earlier, the remnant soul of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign found us. He warned me to take good care of Xiao Wu. If anything happens to Xiao Wu, he won't let me off." Lin Moyu said, "The saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign regards Xiao Wu as a relative. Not only him, but the illusory mist Heavenly Sovereign also feels the same. If anything happens to Xiao Wu, they won't let us off." Saint Hao looked puzzled. "Aren't they dead?" Lin Moyu chuckled. "Who knows? Anyway, that's what they said. Maybe they have some backup plans, just like this inheritance. Who could have thought of that?" Saint Hao thought of the means of the Heavenly Sovereigns. Even a remnant soul was not something he could contend with. Lin Moyu asked, "What's going on with Xiao Wu now?" Saint Hao explained the situation. Earlier, the remnant soul of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign suddenly found them, not only warning Saint Hao but also drawing an ancient rune and planting it in Xiao Wu's body. Under this ancient rune, Xiao Wu's realm could rapidly improve without the need for cultivation and could also comprehend laws. After the ancient rune was planted, Xiao Wu fell into a deep sleep, and it was unknown how long she would sleep. Saint Hao had therefore interrupted their play and brought Xiao Wu back. It was clear that Saint Hao and Xiao Wu had a good relationship. Saint Hao seemed to regard Xiao Wu as his daughter. Xiao Wu also treated Saint Hao well. During their travels, they seemed to have truly become like father and daughter. With Saint Hao taking care of Xiao Wu, Lin Moyu was also at ease. Lin Moyu remembered what the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign had said. He seemed to want to do something for this world to make up for his guilt. These words were similar to what the illusory mist Heavenly Sovereign had said. The illusory mist Heavenly Sovereign had burned his own remnant soul, weakening the fortunes of various races and feeding them back to the great world of runes, buying more time for the great world. What would the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign do? Suddenly, the entire divine city blossomed with brilliant light and began to shake violently. The sky changed, and a glow appeared. Countless formations in the divine city were activated, making the entire city seem alive. The two of them rushed out of the warship, looking at what was happening in front of them, not understanding. "Let's go find Elder Xing." Saint Hao closed the warship door and took Lin Moyu into the formation, heading to where Elder Xing was. In the Symbol Masters Square, the high-level Symbol Masters did not know what was happening. Each of them was shocked and nervous. What happened? Why is the divine city moving? Is there another enemy invasion? Impossible. The human race has been very peaceful recently. There can't be any enemies. The Symbol Saint flew out of the tower and shouted, "Quiet, nothing is happening, don't worry." He communicated with the Human Emperor network. Human Emperor, what happened? The great world of runes is having an anomaly. I am stabilizing the formations. The symbol saint nodded, and the next second, his voice spread throughout the divine city. Everyone remain calm, there is no need to panic. After saying this, he also rushed to where Elder Xing was. The divine city was shaking, and even the sea of laws was trembling. Elder Xing let out a light sigh, and a vast power surged out. Countless formations appeared around him, and the sea of laws quickly calmed down. Elder Xing's gaze fell into the void, looking towards an infinitely distant place. He was observing the great world of runes, or more precisely, he was sensing it. He couldn't directly open the path to the great world of runes like a heavenly sovereign, he could only sense parts of it. Then, his expression changed, becoming extremely strange. Someone is at the world's core. How is this possible? How can there still be a heavenly sovereign in this world? There were no more supremes in the world, so how could there be a heavenly sovereign? Elder Xing found it hard to believe, but his senses told him that someone was indeed there. I don't know if this is good or bad. Sigh. Elder Xing sighed heavily. If someone could indeed reach that place, he couldn't stop them. In front of a heavenly sovereign, his power was insignificant. Old Xing, Saint Hao arrived with Lin Moyu. Within 3 seconds, the symbol saint also arrived. Elder Xing said, I know why you are here. I sensed someone went to the world's core and did something, causing the great world of runes to react. I just don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Saint Hao suddenly thought of something and looked at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu said, it should be the saint symbol heavenly sovereign. Elder Xing was slightly surprised, tell me the details. Lin Moyu briefly explained the situation with the saint symbol heavenly sovereign. When the saint symbol heavenly sovereign left, he said he would go to the great world of runes. Elder Xing sighed, I didn't expect that there would still be remnants of the heavenly sovereign's soul left. Then there should be no problem. The heavenly sovereign knows what he's doing and won't act recklessly. Elder Xing continued to sense the great world of runes. After a moment, he said, the saint symbol heavenly sovereign should have helped repair part of the great world of runes, but it didn't have much effect. The collapse of the great world of runes cannot be stopped. Destruction is inevitable. I suggest you prepare early. Saint Hao asked, you previously said that the world's resources are depleting and that we should prepare early, but we always felt that the human race needed more time. With thousands of years of preparation and this cooperation with the Starfish clan, I think we are ready. When the heavenly sovereign returns from his divine journey, we plan to start taking action. Elder Xing's suggestion had always left Saint Hao and others undecided. However, the words of the illusory mist heavenly sovereign prompted Saint Hao to make a decision, just waiting for the heavenly sovereign to return from his divine journey. Elder Xing said, he has already returned. Sure enough, a few seconds later, they sensed the heavenly sovereign's presence. Saint Hao said, it seems the great world of runes reaction interrupted the heavenly sovereign's divine journey. Each divine journey could last from 10 to 100 years. This time, it had been less than a year, and it was interrupted by an accident. A divine journey couldn't be undertaken at any time, it required many conditions. It wasn't easy for the heavenly sovereign to go on a divine journey. This interruption meant it was uncertain when the next one would be. The heavenly sovereign, glowing with golden light, rushed to them like a golden meteor. At this moment, the heavenly sovereign had just ended his divine journey, his aura still unstable, but his face was filled with excitement. Saint Hao, familiar with the heavenly sovereign, noticed his unusual expression. What did you see on this divine journey? The heavenly sovereign said, on this divine journey, I entered another world. That world is very peculiar. Elder Xing frowned, another world? Tell us more. The heavenly sovereign said, the cultivators in that world are very peculiar. They can summon a special kind of battle armor. Wearing the armor greatly increases their combat power. The battle armor is divided into several levels, roughly iron, copper, silver, and gold. In that world, people awaken their summoning power at the age of 10. Through cultivation, their summoning power can be enhanced, allowing them to summon different levels of battle armor. Those who can summon battle armor are called warriors. The heavenly sovereign described a completely different power system. Hearing this, Elder Xing fell into deep thought. Saint Hao said, it seems this divine journey was indeed fruitful. You entered such a strange world. In the past, your divine journeys were either to other races or outer realms. I wonder where this small world is located. If I have the chance, I'd like to visit it too. The heavenly sovereign shook his head. I originally wanted to determine its location, but the divine journey was suddenly interrupted, so I couldn't. What a pity, Saint Hao sighed. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat. Heavenly sovereign, can you draw what it looks like? The Heavenly Sovereign immediately drew the appearance of the battle armor. He drew both the initial summoned form and the form when worn. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat, and he whispered, "How can this be?" The Heavenly Sovereign asked curiously, "Lin Xiaoyu, have you seen this battle armor?" Lin Moyu nodded. "When I was in the small world, there was a special profession called Star Warriors. Star Warriors come from a place called the Holy Fighting God Domain. At that time, I didn't know much. Now that I think about it, the Star Warriors' power system seems different from most professions." The Heavenly Sovereign was also moved. "In the world I visited, there was also a Holy Fighting God Domain, and the strongest were called Star Warriors." Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. "That's right, they are Star Warriors." In the small world, everyone had undergone job changes, and many forces had their own exclusive professions. At that time, it seemed normal, and no one questioned it. With his current realm, Lin Moyu recalled the small world and found it increasingly peculiar. The Star Warriors of the Holy Fighting God Domain were very strange. Their power system was incompatible with most professions. Unexpectedly, they came from another world. At this moment, Elder Xing's deep voice sounded, "This is troublesome." Everyone was stunned, not understanding what was troublesome. Elder Xing said, "Your soul, under the protection of the Golden Law and the Human Emperor, has the opportunity to go very far. This time, your divine journey might not have entered a small world but accidentally reached another real world. Although the distance of a divine journey is very far, it is actually limited and cannot exceed this limit. So this is troublesome. It means that this world is very close to us. The great world constantly expands, and it will eventually collide with other worlds. When two worlds collide, conflict is inevitable. World conflicts are no less brutal than racial conflicts, and they can be even more so. If it were in ancient times, when the great world was at its peak, encountering another world would have made the heavenly sovereigns ecstatic. Discovering a new world and plundering its essence was something they did often. But now, although the great world is still vast, its ruins are on the verge of collapse, and it's hard to find even one supreme within it. In such a weakened state, encountering another world is akin to seeking death. One wave has not settled, and another wave rises. Lin Moyu felt a headache coming on. Not only Lin Moyu, but the other saints also felt an immense headache. Elder Xing said, "However, world collisions are not easy and will take a long time. When I say close, it's different from your understanding. From the world's boundary perspective, being millions of light years apart is already very close. Let's do what we need to do. Whether the collision happens or not, strength is the most important." Lin Moyu returned to his cultivation room, leaving the next steps for the human race to be arranged by the Heavenly Sovereign. Originally, Saint Hao could have discussed matters together, but now he had an additional task of taking care of Xiao Wu. Lin Moyu had already noticed that Saint Hao was genuinely good to Xiao Wu. For some reason, the two of them got along exceptionally well. This was a good thing. Lin Moyu's feelings were somewhat complicated at this moment. He realized that he knew too much, and there were many things he couldn't say out loud and had to bear alone. The few saints of the human race had all taken the wrong path. Even if the divine path could be rebuilt in the future, they would at most reach the supreme realm. Becoming a heavenly sovereign was already impossible. The peak of the supreme realm was their limit. The great world was currently very weak. Among the worlds that the great world had once plundered, there were also supremes, and possibly more than one. Given the current strength of the great world, encountering such a world again would be a disaster. Moreover, the internal situation of the great world was still a mess. Various races were standing tall, constantly in conflict. In such a situation, encountering external enemies would likely lead to their downfall. Hopefully, time can be dragged out a bit longer. Lin Moyu sighed lightly. All he could do was work hard on his cultivation and quickly improve his realm. Sitting cross-legged in the void, Lin Moyu's heart completely calmed down. His fingertips glowed, and soul power flowed and gathered at his fingertips, drawing runes in the void. After obtaining the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign, he naturally had to master all the runes he hadn't yet grasped. Among them, a few runes were particularly attractive to Lin Moyu. The core of the entire great world was an incredibly vast rune. All laws, living beings, every blade of grass and tree, every mountain and stone, the starry sky, everything was derived from that rune. Because of this, runes could be used to express everything in this world. In the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign, there were space runes and time runes. These two types of runes were high-level runes and the most complex among high-level runes. Space runes could be further subdivided into various functions such as compression, expansion, stabilization, and sealing. Multiple runes could be fused to form new composite runes, which could then be combined with other runes to achieve more functions. Time runes were similar, with their primary functions being deceleration, acceleration, and stopping. To achieve other functions, multiple runes needed to be fused. Lin Moyu thought of a method. After mastering space and time runes, he wanted to fuse the two types of runes and then use this as a reference to fuse his own laws. After his calculations, he believed this method was feasible. Thus, he once again immersed himself in the study of runes. With the explosive luck technique activated repeatedly, his luck was continuously boosted, and under the blessing of good fortune, Lin Moyu's learning speed was astonishingly fast. One rune after another was quickly mastered and thoroughly understood. Even Lin Moyu had to admit that he had an extraordinary talent for runes. According to the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign, time and space runes were the most difficult among all high-level runes. Their difficulty even surpassed some composite runes. Even certain rune arrays were not as difficult as time and space runes. This was because they were the only two types of three-dimensional runes. Yet, in front of Lin Moyu, they posed no difficulty at all. Whether it was his comprehension ability or the explosive luck technique, Lin Moyu mastered them in an extremely short time. As Lin Moyu mastered more and more runes, he became increasingly familiar with the inheritance of the saint symbol Heavenly Sovereign. The anomaly in the great world was not only sensed by the human race but also by other races. Although they couldn't sense the great world runes like Elder Xing, they could roughly understand what was happening. Over the years, they had sensed the changes in the great world, and anyone with a bit of intelligence could guess what was going on. According to Elder Xing's predictions, those powerful races would also take action in due time. The human race needed to act first and seize the initiative. In a short time, they needed to seize as many resources as possible. Thanks to the modifications made by the Starfish clan to the human race's warships, many of the human race's warships now had deep space navigation capabilities, providing great convenience for this operation. Once a decision was made, the human race's efficiency was extremely high. With the Human Emperor network in place, all orders could be delivered in a very short time. The human race's army moved silently, with the strong of the Other Shore realm and the forces of the War God Hall all mobilized. The War God Hall usually didn't take action, but when they did, it was almost always a war of extermination. This time, the War God Hall was still the main force, targeting several insignificant small races. These small races had attacked the human race 10,000 years ago, occupying human resources and destroying human star systems. Later, they were almost wiped out by Shao Zhanshan's counterattack, barely surviving by fleeing to the edge regions. It could be said that they had a blood feud with the human race. However, the human race had been growing and developing, and had not dealt with them since. Now, they were naturally the first to be targeted. The human race's first targets were three small races, the Rainleaf clan, the Kassan clan, and the Falling Forest clan. All three races were plant-based, with populations not exceeding 10 billion, making them true small races. The strongest among them were only peak god sovereigns, and they were very few in number. As for the Other Shore realm, they had none. The star systems they occupied did not exceed 100. Their strength was comparable to that of the Butterfly clan. Dealing with such races posed no pressure for the human race. The War God Hall mobilized its forces, cooperating with the military to simultaneously take action against the three small races. This operation was both revenge and extermination. However, unlike the extermination of the Buddha clan, they would try not to damage the star systems. They would only kill people, not destroy property, and all resources would be brought back to the human race. A massive fleet entered deep space navigation and disappeared silently. The Heavenly Sovereign sat in the central temple of the Divine City, with a vast starry sky above his head. The Human Emperor network transmitted real-time images of the human race's actions. Watching the warships disappear, the Heavenly Sovereign spoke to the void. I wonder what Yu Chimei and the others will think. Human Emperor, what do you think? The voice of the Human Emperor network sounded, at most, they can only think. They don't dare to take any action, not even to ask. The Heavenly Sovereign revealed a cold smile. Those Starfish clan guys think they did a clean job. What do they count for? The Human Emperor network said, perhaps they are afraid of us. The Heavenly Sovereign asked, have you mastered the method of deep space navigation modification? Still researching, it needs more time. The Starfish clan had tampered with every modified warship. Although it only served as sensing and monitoring, it still displeased the Heavenly Sovereign and others. However, at that time, the two sides were cooperating, so the Heavenly Sovereign did not expose it. During the modification, the Human Emperor network fully recorded the modification methods, analyzed them, and converted them into the human race's own formations. The foreign races had no idea how terrifying and powerful the Human Emperor Network was. The Human Emperor Network suddenly said, "I have something to tell you. During your divine journey, Yu Chimei attempted to assassinate Lin Moyu." A terrifying killing intent surged out from the central temple, almost enveloping half of the divine city. The divine city buzzed and trembled, with countless formations activating to stabilize it. Many people in the divine city felt a chill rise from the bottom of their hearts. They didn't know what had happened or why the heavenly sovereign was suddenly so furious. The Human Emperor Network recounted the situation. Yu Chimei likely used those cause and effect treasures. The reason should be that Lin Moyu comprehended the laws of space. The heavenly sovereign snorted coldly, "I know, those guys are courting death." The calm voice of the Human Emperor Network continued, "The Starfish clan openly has 3 heavenly sovereigns, but they might have hidden forces as well. However, they probably don't have deep foundations, but we can't rule out the possibility that they have treasures comparable to such foundations. I suggest you ask Lin Moyu about this matter. His relationship with Yu Qingro is unusual. Also, you need to consider Luo Shen. Luo Shen is still alive and could return at any time. Although the outer realm is far, it is not a problem for her." Listening to the analysis of the Human Emperor Network, the Heavenly Sovereign pondered, "If that's the case, then it's indeed better to ask Lin Xiaoyu. This matter is not urgent. After all, on the surface, we are still friends. Whether we become enemies or remain friends in the future depends on their own choices. Between races, besides emotions, interests are more important. In the eyes of the Heavenly Sovereign, there are no eternal friends, but there are definitely eternal enemies, such as the demon race. No matter how great the interests, the relationship between the two races cannot be changed, even if the great world is destroyed. As long as there is a chance to kill the other, both races will spare no expense." In the Starfish clan, Yu Chimei urgently summoned 2 great elders. Yu Chimei whispered, "The human race's warships have mobilized on a large scale. Their direction is towards the 3 small races on the edge." The 2 great elders couldn't help but sigh. It seems the human race is going to take revenge. The human race has waited for 100,000 years and is finally taking action. The Buddha clan and the 3 silver clans were just a small test. The human race didn't even use their full strength. Previously, to welcome Lin Moyu, the human race's army pressed the border, but they still didn't use their full strength. With 100,000 years of accumulation, the hidden strength of the human race must be extremely terrifying. The great world is going to be in chaos. Regardless of anything else, we should think about how to protect ourselves. We have been hidden for too long, and our choices are limited. The 3 discussed how to respond. Because of the modifications to the warships, they could be the first to know the movements of the human race. This gave them an advantage, but it remained to be seen if they could use it effectively. Due to being hidden for too long, they had lost their judgment on many matters in the great world. A few days later, the human race's warships suddenly appeared, sealing off space and starting a massacre. The human race's methods were extremely fierce. Once they took action, it was a war of extermination, leaving no survivors. With thorough preparation, they completely sealed off space, and communications were cut off, preventing any news from spreading from the 3 races. Even some peripheral areas were cleared by the human race's strongmen. In just 10 days, this sudden and seemingly small-scale battle ended. The Rainleaf clan, the Kassan clan, and the Falling Forest clan were erased from the great world. Any survivors could only flee to the outer realms. When this news spread, the entire great world was in an uproar. Strong men from various races rushed to the territories of the 3 races. After careful inspection, they confirmed that it was the human race that took action. For a time, the great world was filled with tension. The high-level members of various races had similar thoughts. The human race has finally started to take revenge. 100,000 years ago, more than 200 races joined forces but ultimately failed to erase the human race from the great world. In the end, during Xiao Zhanshan's counterattack, dozens of races were exterminated, and dozens more were crippled. The remaining races also paid a price to varying degrees. In that great war, the human race suffered heavy casualties, with their population reduced by 99%. But the other races didn't fare well either. It was a mutual destruction. The blood feud was already established, and it was clear that for the human race, this matter was not over. After 100,000 years of recuperation, the human race finally started to take revenge. First, they tested their strength on the Buddha clan, then swiftly took advantage of the spirit-devouring clan's crisis to crush the 3 silver clans. After that, to welcome Lin Moyu, they heavily pressured the demon race, showing immense strength. Now, with thunderous momentum, they directly erased 3 races. Although the Rainleaf, Kassan, and Falling Forest clans were small races, The fact that the human race exterminated 3 races simultaneously showed their absolute strength. The extermination of the 3 races left a devastated star region. Countless planets were shattered, and the space of the entire starry sky was still struggling to recover, with the recovery speed being extremely slow. The aura of the heavenly sovereigns and the other shore realms still lingered in the starry sky, very dense. The demon race, golden eagle race, flying python race, bull demon race, black stone race, and other strongmen from various races arrived in this starry sky, their expressions extremely grave. The human race is truly ruthless. They really left no survivors, not even a single star. The star system was destroyed to this extent. The number of heavenly sovereigns and other shore realm experts the human race deployed this time must have been considerable. At this moment, it was not just the races that had previously attacked the human race that were worried. Even those that hadn't attacked the human race but had poor relations with them were starting to feel uneasy. Even if they hadn't attacked the human race, they had had minor conflicts with them. If the human race really started to take revenge, would they also take action against them? Many races were not strong. If the human race really wanted to take action against them, they would be powerless to resist. They began to consider whether to form alliances with others, perhaps to make the human race hesitate. Abyssal flames burned brightly, turning the starry sky green. The abyssal demon sovereign appeared in the abyssal flames. The aura of the heavenly sovereign spread overwhelmingly, causing everyone present to unconsciously lower their heads, eyes filled with fear. The abyssal demon sovereign let out a cold laugh. Everyone should have heard that there is a saying among the human race: those who are not of our race must have different hearts. If the human race really starts to take revenge, they might settle all grudges, big and small. His words were clear. The human race would not be reasonable, and no one would escape. The abyssal demon sovereign observed the changes in everyone's expressions and continued with a cold smile. You are all high-level members of your races and should know some history about the human race. You know your origins and how the human race treated us. I believe you all know a bit. Having survived that great war, we are the ones who barely made it. But 100,000 years ago, we still couldn't erase the human race. Now the human race is back. Have you thought about what to do? Hearing this, everyone's expressions changed. The abyssal demon sovereign was right. They were all high-level members of their races and knew some history, including their origins. If they were to delve into it, regardless of whether they had attacked the human race 100,000 years ago, they all had enmity with the human race at their roots. In ancient times, they had another name: traitors. The abyssal demon sovereign knew his words had taken effect and continued in an extremely cold voice: everyone, think carefully when you return. The dark green flames exploded, and the abyssal demon sovereign disappeared without a trace. The strong men from various races were left with complex expressions. They each left with their own thoughts. In the central hall of the divine city, the heavenly sovereign asked in a low voice, "How is it? Did those guys suspect anything?" The symbol saint, with his eyes closed and runes dancing at his fingertips, replied after a moment, "It doesn't seem like they suspected anything, but the abyssal demon sovereign came and seemed to be inciting others.